The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Another hot episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
Man, what's up, bro? I'm tired in the mud, but we here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good weekend for college football. Had championship games going on. High school as well, at least in the state of Alabama. Winding down, man. We're getting close to something happening. Signing day is early. Signing day is coming on. The transfer portal is picking up. And man, we had to finally had the first 12-team college football playoff bracket that matters. We know who's going to the playoffs. We know who ain't. All right.
LSU.
Yeah, that too. Them too. But yeah, man. What's up to my nieces, man? I heard y'all had a good day. She said, "Hello, guys, it's me again." And then she said her sister said, "Hey," to Adriana, and I said, "Hey." Danny says, "Staying up to the wee hours of the morning, solving the world's problems will often lead to tiredness." Yeah.
No comment.
So
No comment.
that's what they call it nowadays. I'll start saying that.
It was.
I know.
It was a Twitter space that went left, but not necessarily in a bad way. But I'm talking about it got so off topic that it was about 4 people in the space because we went so far left.
Are you talking about the Twitter space that we was hosting?
Yeah, you lost connection or something, and it ended the space.
Oh, okay.
And so Danny girl started one up after that, and it went left.
Yeah,
it started going left in the one that you was hosting, but you was knocked out. I'm assuming because you definitely would have been.
Yeah. I went to sleep. I fell asleep, and my phone died. So.
Oh yeah, that's what. That happens.
That tends to happen, but man, I'm looking forward to talking about tonight, man. All the stuff that's transpired, coaching carousel, man. Yeah, Paul's Hub says Alabama fans will be the recipients of the 2024 Loud and Wrong Award for their mental gymnastics trying to justify putting themselves in the CFP. Yeah.
I can't. I know you. It's a little different for you because you're surrounded by them, but I can't tap dance on their grave, because LSU grave is LSU grave is a lot older, man. We've been buried for a few weeks now, so you know what I mean. Like it's ain't no room for me to talk, man.
In the great words of Clay Davis from The Wire, a shit.
I
Call me
know it's
Gregory Hines. Call me Gregory Hines. I'm out the thing. Just hey, I'm talking about two stepping on it. Tap 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 tap.
Yeah.
Tap,
I mean, I feel you're surrounded by them, so I get it. It's a little different.
It's a little different, man. But I can say, I told somebody, I explained to him, I said the hate I have for Alabama is more of a respect. I have a lot of respect for them. You know, so I hate them as a fan base, but I have a lot of respect for, you know, saying the success they have is very admirable. And it's a in their program. But Florida, hey, I told somebody because they were talking about all the schools they want to go visit in the SEC. I said, I don't want to go. I said, forget Florida. I ain't say forget, but I said, forget Florida. I said, I don't want. I said, matter of fact, take me to Florida. I said, matter of fact, take me there so I can spit on the campus. Just hate them. Terrible. All right, man, let's go ahead and get started. But first, y'all know what we gotta do. We gotta give a shout out to our sponsors over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. We will be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right. Here we go. Let's try to fix this. All right, man. I lost internet just that quick. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to go home. But we are back. Dude, let's talk about this college football playoff. Um, let's see what we're working with this bracket. Um, here we go. College football bracket is as so. Number 1 seed is Oregon. They have a bye. Number 2 is Georgia. They have a bye. 3, Boise State. They get the bye. Number 4 is Arizona State. They get the bye as well. At the 5 spot is Texas. They'll take on number 12, Clemson. In the 6th spot is Penn State. They'll take on SMU. In the 7th spot, it's Notre Dame. They will take on Indiana. In the 8th spot, it's Ohio State, and they'll take on number 9 Tennessee. Initial thoughts on this bracket.
I mean, I think it's pretty good bracket. I know a lot of people will be upset for a variety of different reasons, but after the way things turned out yesterday, I think this is probably the bracket that I would have came up with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing that a lot of people said they couldn't understand. Clemson beat SMU, but they are seated behind SMU at number 12.
Well, because Clemson is really ranked 18 and SMU is ranked 10. So if you looking at the 11 and 12, and that's really irrelevant because Clemson's only 12 because they won their conference championship game. If you look at the actual top 25, where is Clemson ranked?
Yeah, 16. I'm looking at they have it right here in the next
So
to
I
them.
mean,
So yeah.
they was ranked like 18 last week, 19, something like that last week, and then they moved up like 3 or 4 spots after beating SMU. But so I don't feel like they should have went from 18, 19, wherever they were last week to 11 or 10, you know what I mean, just because they beat SMU. That's a ridiculous jump just for a 3-point win.
Yeah. Yeah. Another game, another one. I thought I was playing. I was like, man, we can have a debate. We'll, you know what I'm saying? We might have to rock, paper, scissors to see who take which side. But we ain't got a debate about it. Let's talk about the fact that Alabama is, I know I joked and a lot of truth is said in jest. But I joked about Alabama not getting in and tap dancing on their grave and everything. But a lot of people feel like Alabama should be in here. Your thoughts?
I don't believe Alabama should be in over SMU. I understand the strength of schedule. I understand all of that, but I'm basing it off of after the end of the regular season, SMU was ranked number 8. Alabama was ranked number 11. I don't feel like making it to your conference championship game and losing by 3 points means you should drop from 8 to 12. And I don't think you should be rewarded, i.e. Alabama, and jump somebody who I just lost internet, bro. It's crazy. But
You
you can
lost.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost it because my phone lost it too. I don't know what just happened. But I don't think that SMU should be penalized for losing their conference championship game, and I don't think Alabama should be rewarded for not playing in their conference championship game by jumping a team that lost. So I feel like SMU should have dropped, but they shouldn't have dropped below Alabama. And which I mean, that's what happened. They dropped from what 8 to 10. They just
Yeah.
didn't drop low
What-
to where they playoffs.
which is fair. I did like the committee coming out and saying that they do not feel it's right to put teams who aren't playing, push them up, you know what I'm saying, into the 12, you know what I'm saying, and to have teams that are playing to drop them out of the 12, you know. Now, I will say, if that score would have held up the way it was previously, I mean, like in the first 2-3 quarters, um, Alabama getting in, okay, I can see that. But Alabama jumping them, and like you said, they, you know what I'm saying, made the comeback, and honestly, if they had gone to overtime, I think SMU takes it. We don't know now, but you know what I'm saying, because they didn't get that far. But you know what I'm saying, SMU started building momentum, and Clemson did. I mean, they got in field goal range and kicked it. So
a hell of a kick too.
it was. Another one. I may be in the minority in this because, you know, having Boise State as a 3 seed getting a bye, I think Boise can win at least one game. I can see a way for Boise to. I know it's not likely, but I can see them possibly beating SMU or Penn State and going to the semi. I just call me crazy, but I can see it happen.
I like their chances versus SMU a lot better than I do versus Penn State.
I agree with that. So, Arizona State on the other side, that's another one that people seem to have, you know, have a problem with. I think Arizona State might, you know, saying keep it close, make some noise. Arizona. I've just heard talks of people, you know, saying thinking Arizona State, you know, so not necessarily being in it, but having that first round bye, they don't think that they were one of the top 4 teams.
They're not. But they're a top 4 seed because of the stipulations of how the top 4 seeds are achieved or how they earned or whatever they want to call it. Like, they're not better than Ohio State, in my opinion.
All right.
You know what I mean? But they get a top 4 seed. They get a top 4 seed over Ohio State or over Texas because they won their conference championship. Like, just because you're a top 4 seed doesn't mean you're one of the best 4 teams in the country.
Yeah.
It's not the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Let me ask this. We talked about Alabama. Is there anybody else who was left off that you feel had an argument?
I think Ole Miss had one, but I don't think it was as good as Alabama's. Just because of that loss to Kentucky, and they don't have a win as good as they did beat Georgia too. Never mind. So I just think they got worse loss to Kentucky, and so I don't think their case was as strong as Alabama, but I still think SMU deserved it because at the end of the regular season, they was an 8 seed.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be penalized for making their conference championship game and lose.
Yeah. When Miami lost to Syracuse, I knew it was a wrap for them.
Yep.
They would have had to have made it to the conference championship, and to be honest with you, I think they would have had to win the conference championship to be in it.
Well, I don't know if they would have beat Syracuse, I think they would have been in the same situation as SMU was. A loss in the conference championship game doesn't disqualify you from the playoffs just because regular season wise you was a top 12 team, top 10 team, whatever. I think South Carolina ultimately South Carolina had a better case to me than Miami. After yesterday, because now South Carolina has a win over the ACC champ. You know what I mean? And they got wins over who else South Carolina beat? They lost to us, Ole Miss, and Bama, but they beat Texas A&M. You know what I mean? Like they got some good. They got some other good wins. I think Miami don't have. So they I think they had a better. And then there was what 6 straight, 5 straight, whatever, however many straight wins they had. So they was one of the hottest teams in the country. I think they had and Miami had lost 2 of their last 3. So you could argue that they was playing better ball at the time than Miami was.
Yeah, Miami's. I'm not sorry, Miami, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Missouri, and Clemson were all ranked when they beat them. They lost to Ole Miss by 24, and then they lost to Alabama by 2. And they lost to So go ahead. I'm sorry.
My question
all 3 of their losses are top 25 too. So just throwing it out there.
Should Georgia be the number 2 team in the country if Carson Beck is injured?
That goes back to the argument, the Florida State argument for last year. My question is how severe is Carson Beck's injury?
Well, I don't know. Kirby, like our guy Ben Dennis said, Kirby ain't dumb enough to go out there and tell the truth about his quarterback's injury, like Mike Norvell did. You know what I mean? So we don't know. And I'm not saying Georgia shouldn't be in the playoff because obviously it's 12 teams, not 4 teams. But should they be number 2 over Boise? You know what I mean? Like they probably would still be the number 2 seed just because they're the second highest ranked conference champion. But if you look at the top 25 from top to bottom, they're the number 2 team in the country with an injured quarterback.
Yeah. I think what's hard to say because we got to see 2-3 weeks of Florida State's backup versus seeing just a couple series with Georgia's backup. And to be fair, Gunnar Stockton looked a lot better in those 2 or 3 series than I can't even think of the kid's name. The backup for Florida State looked last year.
Yeah, but my argument to that would be Florida State won 3 games with him.
That's very true. Very true. Very true.
Can Georgia win 3 games with Stockton? I'm not saying they can't, but we don't know. But we know for a fact, old boy won 3 games for Florida State last year.
That he did.
So I mean, if Florida State was undefeated and went to 5, 6 or whatever last year, with a hurt quarterback is the only reason why, then how the hell is Georgia number 2 with a hurt quarterback?
I think it's just simply because we don't know the severity of Carson Beck's injuries right now. Because he came back in, they put him back in for the handoff. I mean, I know that's nothing, but because he can't, even when he came out there, he was still it's like dead. His arm was dead.
Yeah, bro. Like he had this ice wrapped up. That don't look like no injury that you coming back from in a week, 2 weeks. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, he got 3 weeks now, don't it? Because it's first game's the 21st.
Yeah, technically. So he don't play till the next weekend. So yeah.
Yeah. So we shall see. What matchups do you like on here so far?
Indiana Notre Dame in-state rivalry matchup. I think that's gonna be a good one. Interested to see the 2 kind of different styles too. You know, one heavily defensive team, the other one heavily offensive team. So strength on strength type matchup. I want to say Tennessee, Ohio State.
I'm interested in that one too myself personally.
But at the same time, like if the good versions of these two teams show up, it could be a hell of a game. But if the version of Tennessee that played Arkansas and the version of Ohio State that played Michigan show up, I'd rather watch glue dry.
I think we're gonna see the Tennessee that played Alabama and Vanderbilt. I think that's the Tennessee we're gonna see. It's gonna start slow and then they're gonna pick it up. The problem with that though, after that, either one, the winner playing playing Oregon.
I don't mind the Ohio Oregon rematch.
I don't either, but I'm just saying good luck because Oregon don't start slow.
I mean that's true, but I saw them play the first time, and I saw if Will Howard slides 2 seconds earlier,
yeah,
Ohio State probably win.
You
know what I mean? Like
I completely agree.
I'll sign up for part 2 of that for sure.
Yeah. Clemson, Texas. I got a feeling Clemson might take them out.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I got a feeling they're gonna take them out. Paul Sub says Indiana will beat Notre Dame. That don't surprise me either. I'm being honest with you. I can look at this at the bracket, and I can honestly go chalk and feel like that's a good pick. I can honestly look at this bracket, and I think I can pick all upsets, and it's gonna be a hot take, but
yeah, ain't no way they all gonna be upsets. But
nah, I know it ain't gonna be all. But I'm just saying, I guess
you can make the argument for each upset.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that literally. Trust me, I'm not picking all upsets in this, but I do think there's a path for all upsets.
All right, so I just pulled up. Let me pull up the odds real quick for these semifinal games. But let's see. All right, what you think the line is according to Bet Online? Shout out Bet Online for Indiana Notre Dame.
I think I kind of cheated because I already looked. If I'm not mistaken, that line is 10.5.
No, that one's 7.5.
7.5. Okay.
Indiana plus 7.5.
Okay.
SMU versus Penn State. 8.5. Clemson, Texas. 11.
For Texas.
Yeah.
Texas favored by 11. That's the one I was thinking about when I said 10.5.
Yeah. And Ohio State, Tennessee is Ohio State minus 7.5.
Bro,
all of them are at least a touchdown favorite, bro.
I'm be honest with you. I don't know if anybody covers that. I can see them, but I don't think it's. I think all these are gonna be very competitive.
Well, the same way you say. The only one I don't see really covering is Notre Dame, but if you told me any of the other teams cover, it wouldn't really surprise me. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the way Ohio State played Indiana, like I think Notre Dame defense is good enough to kind of repeat that same performance.
Yeah.
So I would like if you told me Notre Dame won by like if you told me Notre Dame won 28-20, they covered at 7.5. I mean, that wouldn't shock me.
So let me ask this question because and I know we talk SMU, you know, Penn State's defense, you know what I'm saying, stout. SMU is not terrible defensively. They're actually up there as well. If Boise State has to play Penn State, does Genty get the 100 and I think it was 130 something yards left, 160? Does he get the yards to break the record?
Yeah, they're gonna force feed him to get it. But all right, so the problem I have with SMU and Penn State, how many of them SMU kids played in the snow before?
It's a good question. That's a good question.
But I will say this though. That's the only matchup where you really look at it and you like, oh, somebody gotta travel a long ways.
Yeah.
Because if they would have flipped, let's see. No, that would have been an even better matchup probably. If you would have flipped Texas and Penn State, you would have had SMU and Texas. That would have been a good matchup. But like none of them really would have been far matchups. Like it wouldn't have been like Arizona State or Boise going to Penn State or nothing like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have been no crazy cross country type trips. They are pretty relatively short distances. Except for SMU having to go to Penn State. That's the furthest one, and I think it's more the weather than the travel on that one.
Yeah, it's when you get to the next round where you're gonna see whoever play Oregon, and whoever play Boise State.
Well,
both of them will be cross country.
Yeah, them ain't gonna be at home.
Oh, but that's all right though, man. Home, they're gonna be, the 4 bowl games. So
that's why I say it's
yeah. You got anything else on the college football playoff bracket?
I kind of wish they would have not like this. My first time really just studying it because I've been busy all day. But I wish they would have flipped Texas and Penn State.
Yeah,
I think both of them games would have been better than the matchup I think Penn State Clemson would have been better than Texas Clemson, and I think Texas SMU would have been better than Penn State SMU.
So Danny did say this, and I thought that was kind of interesting. She said Penn State award for losing their conference championship was the easiest path to the finals. James Franklin has no excuses this time.
What makes Boise the easiest path to the playoffs?
I think it's a name thing. That's the same thing yesterday. I was listening to.
Like, we do realize they they played the number 1 team in the country
and lost by 3.
Exactly.
I know. Trust me. I told you. I think I've told you this before. Back in 03, 04, 02, 03, 04, around that time up until the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma, and afterwards, I was a huge Boise State fan. Boise State fan. It'll be LSU, you know what I'm saying? If LSU weren't playing, I'd be looking for Boise State, or trying to find out who Boise State playing and stuff. Just simply because, man, Boise State always ran trick plays or it was always something about their offense, man, that they always had like a stud, unnamed stud. Like before there was Ashton Genty, there was Ian Johnson. That's the kid, the running back when they played Oklahoma that year. Jared Zabrand.
what was that other running back they had? What was his name?
Ajay. Because he went to end up going to like
Jay Ajay. Yep.
he ended up winning the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, with the
Right.
Eagles. Yep. Yep. What up, Hayden? Hayden says he says, I love the Clemson Texas matchup, and you don't like it?
Yeah, I mean it's probably my favorite matchup of all four of these first round matchups. I just would have liked Texas SMU more. Just because it would have gave that kind of Texas A&M Texas type feel, just because it's an old rivalry that's already played. You know what I mean? Like having that type of atmosphere in the first round would have been crazy.
Yep. As Paul says, that would have reignited an old Southwest rivalry at least for one game.
Yeah, that would have been, man. You know how much tickets would have been for that game, bro?
Wow. In Austin too? Yeah.
Them SMU people would have been paying that money though, boy. They don't care.
Yeah. Well, man, that's it for the college football playoffs. That's all I got. You got anything else before we move on?
Nah.
All right. We also do know who LSU will be playing for their bowl game. They'll be taking on a familiar face. LSU will take on Baylor in the Texas Bowl, and that's not the familiar face. It's not Baylor. It is old defensive coordinator Dave Aranda taking on LSU in Houston. Matter of fact, you know the irony of this, Ant? It's not. I take that back. That was not. Never mind. I was going to say Dave Aranda's first game for LSU, but it was against Wisconsin. But it was not that. It wasn't that year that they played in Houston. Never mind. They played in, they played Lambeau. But man, what a interesting little matchup. I watched Baylor play in person. I will say Baylor fans are weird as hell.
Oh yeah. Of course. To me, Baylor a basketball school, dog. Like, I know they won 6 straight games in the season, and ultimately saved Dave Aranda's job. But optically, if you LSU, you can't lose to Baylor, dog.
They quarterback threw 2 picks. It should have been like 4 against Houston. He threw 2 picks. One was returned for a touchdown. One was a pick six. The other one, the DB caught it and was getting ready to run upfield and ran into his own man and failed. If not, it would have been back-to-back. I mean, it would have been pick six. They got 2 cold wide receivers. I don't even know the kid's name. I'm finna look up real quick. But number 1, dude is cold. He caught several one-hand catches. Tall, big body kid. Let's see what's his name. What is his name? He is. Oh, it's okay. A familiar name, Michael Trigg.
Oh yeah,
tight end. Yeah, tight end. Big by make 2 phenomenal catches in that game. You also have the quarterback is. Hold on, let me see if I can find.
The quarterback is Robertson.
Trying to see if that's the kid who.
He got 26.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he threw 2 against Houston. So he will. If you put pressure on, if we put pressure, send that O line and send a blitz, he's gonna throw it up. He sees ghosts quick.
Yeah. I ain't really too much worried about Baylor offense. what would concern me is if you one-dimensional offensively against Dave and ran the defense.
Mm.
And if you can't run the ball and you dropping us back 40, 50 times with a brand new left tackle, because Will Campbell ain't playing, that's I don't know
Brand new tight end too.
Yeah. So I don't really know how much I like the sound of that. So we gotta hope that we can do what LSU's done the last few weeks, and run the football.
Completely agree. That alludes to what Hayden asked. Who do you guys think is opting out on our end? I think it'll be Will and Mason. I think that's one reason why they went ahead and announced now that they're entering the draft. Of course, you guys that are in the portal, who have announced. I think that was just when what's the kid Drake? That was the safety that ended up playing running back for us. And
The safety that played running back
in 22, yeah, we had a safety.
Yeah, I know. Man, what was that kid name?
I can't think of his name, but he opted. He entered the transfer portal. Derek Davis. He entered the transfer portal, but he ended up playing in that game and got a touchdown. He played in the game, so I don't think we have any of those guys that will be playing in the game. Any of the guys that have already entered the portal.
I don't think so either.
So
and I don't think
that means
anybody else who would be opting out either, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like even guys who seniors like Kyron, Josh Williams, I feel like them guys gonna play their last game that they can play as a Tiger. Greg Penn, Sage Ryan, all them guys, I feel like they're gonna try to play their last game. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't see none of them guys opting out. And the only person is Emory if he go pro.
Yeah. Paul also said Baylor will be the 5th Texas-based Big 12 school we faced over the last 15 seasons.
All right, let's see. Texas
A&M. Yeah. Texas A&M.
Did we play Texas A&M when there was a Big 12 school?
Yeah. We played them the year before they got in.
That's right.
That's year Tyron was 14. He was still number 14 his freshman year. Right. So yeah, we played them then. Say that again.
I said we played Texas Tech, Texas A&M, TCU.
Texas A&M, TCU. Yeah, this would be. I'm trying to think. I want to, because we haven't played Baylor, so yeah.
And we in Houston, we ain't played them since they've been in the Big 12.
Played them in 27 in Houston too, at NRG.
Yeah, so that's all of them. Shit, ain't no more Texas schools here. Damn near.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Real quick, man, I do want to talk some of the other bowl games we got, man. I'm finna pull. I don't know if you even looked at. I'll go ahead and read off the list. Yeah. I'll read out because I saw some of these pop up and I was just like, that's just dumb.
I do know Independence Bowl though. I do know that.
Oh, because they announced it while y'all were up there.
Marshall versus Army.
Yeah. Yep. So here we go in the Bahamas Bowl, you got Buffalo versus Liberty. Actually, that's way in January.
Yeah,
So
the first bowl is the Veterans Bowl. Salute to Veterans Bowl. South Alabama
yeah,
versus Michigan.
yeah. Oh, you know what? That's not the first bowl. The first bowl is the Celebration Bowl. Jackson State is taking on South Carolina State. Congratulations to Jackson State for making it back third time in 4 years without Dion, and a lot of people said that it was going to be over. Well, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations to Coach TC Taylor, who has always put up with my. He's always put up with my foolishness anytime I ask him a crazy question. He just laughing and answer and talk with you. Also, Chennis Berry, man, at South Carolina State. I got to double check this, but if I'm not mistaken, Ant, both of these guys coached together in a Celebration Bowl. They were both with North Carolina A&T. I got to double check that.
I know.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the one. The one that Grambling won, I think he was Chennis Berry was on that what's it called?
Okay. That's what's up.
I'm thinking. I was looking at. I meant to look that up and get the exact what's called on it, but let's see. He was North Carolina A&T. He is the assistant head coach and OC from 09 to 10. Nope, they maybe not. Maybe not there. Hold on, let me see.
That ain't your grandma.
Yeah, maybe that. Nope, they just missed each other, but both of them did coach at North Carolina Central. They just coached at different times. But TC Taylor did. He was there from at Central from 15 to 18, and he was an OC. He was co-OC for 2 years, and he was the OC. So, yeah, shout out to him. A first year head coach and a second year head coach in the SWAC. So. See what else. Rest of the bowls. Then you got the Salute to Veterans Bowl. South Alabama is taking on Western Michigan in Montgomery. The Frisco Bowl, Memphis versus West Virginia. The Boca Raton Bowl, Western Kentucky versus James Madison. That might be interesting. The LA Bowl, Cal is taking on UNLV. The New Orleans Bowl, you got Georgia Southern versus Sam Houston. In the Cure Bowl, you got Ohio versus Jacksonville State. Gasparilla, you got Florida taking on Tulane.
Stop.
That might be.
It would have been interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Never mind. The Myrtle Beach Bowl, you got Coastal Carolina taking on UTSA. The Idaho Potato Bowl, you got Fresno State taking on Northern Illinois. Hawaii Bowl, South Florida taking on San Jose State. The Game Above Sports Bowl, that's in Detroit. You got Pitt. Game Above Sports Bowl. It's in Detroit. It's Pitt versus Toledo. In the Rate Bowl, you got that's in Phoenix. Kansas State taking on Rutgers. In the 68 Ventures Bowl in Mobile, you got Arkansas State versus Bowling Green. Birmingham Bowl, Georgia Tech versus Vanderbilt. In the Armed Forces Bowl, you got Oklahoma taking on Navy. That's going to be a run fest. That game going to be quick. All you going to have is start the first quarter, start the second quarter, halftime.
There might be the fewest passes thrown in a college football game
in a non-Commanders Cup, Cup game. Yeah. The Liberty Bowl, Texas Tech versus Arkansas. The Holiday Bowl is Syracuse versus Washington State. The Las Vegas Bowl, you got USC versus Texas A&M. The Fenway Bowl, North Carolina is taking on UConn. In the Pinstripe Bowl, you got Boston College versus Nebraska. New Mexico, you got TCU versus ULL. The Pop-Tart Bowl, Miami versus Iowa State.
Okay, you got me an interesting one. The ULL TCU is interesting to me. Put a check by that one. That one's interesting.
All right.
Jack
In the Arizona. Go ahead, yo, JB. Oh, yeah. I ain't even think about that. In the Arizona Bowl, you got Colorado State versus Miami of Ohio.
How you gonna skip past the best part of that bowl? The Snoop Dogg.
The Arizona?
The Snoop Dogg.
It don't list it on. It don't list it on here as the name. It just say the yeah.
It's Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. I'm watching this just to see what he do.
It's on the that one's on the CW network, bro. That's gonna be. Okay. I'm just saying that's gonna be.
It'll be on the streaming site.
It will. The Military Bowl, you got North Carolina State versus ECU. The Alamo Bowl. This is. So what? Why ain't got what?
Why is the military not in the Military Bowl?
They got. I guess I don't know if you want to say they got better bowls. No, I don't know. Well, so here's why. Navy is in the Armed Forces Bowl. Army's in Army's in the Independence Bowl.
But I'm saying, why not Army in the Military Bowl? I mean, I'm fine with them being in the Independence Bowl for selfish reasons, but common sense wise, you would think they would be in the Military Bowl.
But... Where was I? Military Bowl, North Carolina State, ECU, Alamo Bowl, BYU versus Colorado. This is one bowl I have a problem with. This is a conference game.
Yeah.
It's a conference game. Why? I like that, Paul Sub. He make a good point. Paul Sub says Vanderbilt versus Georgia Tech will be the best non-playoff bowl, a dormant original SEC rivalry at an excellent neutral site. So
that's gonna be a good one, but keep going and I'll tell you which one I think gonna be the best.
All right. Okay, Independence is Army Marshall. The Music City Bowl, Missouri versus Iowa. In the ReliaQuest Bowl, Michigan versus Alabama. In the Sun Bowl, you've got Louisville versus Washington. The Citrus Bowl, you got Illinois versus USC. I already talked to you about the Texas Bowl. Okay, go ahead.
Illinois versus South Carolina.
Okay.
In my opinion, it's going to be a damn good game. Illinois done won 3 straight. South Carolina done won what?
Not South Carolina. Not South Carolina. That's Southern Cal.
No, they play South Carolina. Illinois plays South Carolina.
Oh, I'm tripping. Okay. South Carolina. Go ahead.
South Carolina done won like 5-6 straight, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Illinois done won 3 straight. Illinois got a pretty good quarterback, Altmaier, who can put up some points in a little different way than South Carolina does. You know, they do it on the ground. But Illinois got a pretty good defense, though. And South Carolina got a pretty good defense. So I feel like these two pretty evenly matched teams.
Yeah. I'm went ahead and put my glasses on because obviously Carolina looked like California when I just did that. And crazy part about it, I had already said that USC was playing.
I think Alabama, Michigan for like the brands. You know what I mean?
I don't
like
think that's gonna be
the game ain't worth a damn, but just the brands and the fan bases and all the pageantry around the game or whatever. Like, but it's not gonna be worth it.
So the Gator Bowl, Duke Ole Miss. Don't like it. First Responder Bowl, North Texas versus Texas State. Don't care for it. Duke Mayo's Bowl, Minnesota versus Virginia Tech. I do like this matchup, and I'm looking forward to this one. It's Virginia Tech trying to get back to, I ain't gonna say relevance, but get back to I guess the dominance that they once had. You got North Texas, who's up and coming, and I forgot what North Texas did, but they had a hell of a season.
Games, bro.
Say what?
You're looking at two different games. North Texas played Texas State. Minnesota played Virginia Tech.
All right, man. We're finna hurry up, get up off here. In the Bahamas Bowl, though, you got Buffalo and Liberty.
Yeah, I don't care about that at all. Yeah, I don't know. This might be one of the years where I kind of might be too many bowl games. But I wonder if it's because we got a 12-team playoff. And
that's why, because some of these games, yeah.
You got 4 bowl games that we ain't gonna have because 8 teams are now in the playoffs. So
yeah. I hadn't looked to find out. I think everybody is 6-6, but can you imagine a year when you just run out and you got to put some 5 and 7s in there?
I wish that would have been this year. ULM would have got one then. Nah, I'm just
no. I was hoping, man. Selfishly, I was hoping LSU would have got the Music City Bowl.
Yeah.
I was hoping, so I could have went to it. Also, though, it's just I want us to do something. I want to be outside of Texas and Florida. You played in Orlando 2 years in a row. You played Texas, I don't know how many times in a row before that. I'm just want to be somewhere else.
You'll be in Vandy next year. Hopefully the stadium done.
Yeah. I know I'm gonna have to plan on going to that one because Dylan been. Shout out to Adam, man. Adam and Kristen when they had their baby, because he hit us up about getting the tickets. So we went to the Baylor game, and Dylan, he let me know next time that happen, we going. He don't care who Jay Sean playing.
I couldn't go either, and I would have. I had to work that weekend, but yeah, I would have went. But
yeah,
nah, I done messed up because now my daughter's talking about they want to go see Angel Reese play. I done messed up, man.
Yeah. That's good though. You gave him something to look forward to. A little.
They can look forward to it all they want. Don't mean that shit gonna happen. But
yeah. What time we got? 25. Man, let's talk about this coaching carousel. What we've had so far. We've had a bunch of different changes. Barry Odom is headed to Purdue.
I don't like that fit at all. But it's a hard job, dog. And it got even harder. Because of in Indiana, you know what I mean? And then you add USC, Washington, Oregon, all these other teams to the conference with just lowers your pecking order in the conference even more. I don't know why he picked this job. He would have been better at North Carolina if you ask me. But
Yeah. Former Florida A&M head coach and current, former now Duke running back coach Willie Simmons is headed to FIU.
that's smart. Smart hire. Get a guy who knows that recruiting ground, that area, and is a winning coach. I like the hire.
Yeah. UCF. This was an interesting one. Brings back Scott Frost. He was
Why not?
the head. He was the head coach for their national championship
Why not,
run
man?
in 2018.
This dude. Yeah.
That-
I mean,
it's
it's
on the
a.
stage. I mean, if
it-
Alabama can claim a bunch of them, why they can't claim one? I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, if their Wikipedia page says it, it's got to be true, right?
That's what Abraham Lincoln said. Anything on the internet,
Yeah.
everything on there is true. That's
But
what half these people believe anyway.
I think Scott Frost a cool hire if he can try to regain some of that magic he had down there.
I like the hire, but I don't know how often reunion tours work with coaches. Like I don't think Petrino didn't do. I say Billy Petrino, Bobby Petrino. I don't. Yeah, he didn't do that well in his return to Louis. Like he had Louisville in the top 25, but then when he returned back, it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
There was somebody else did spin around the block, came back.
Like Brown spent the block at North
North
Carolina.
Carolina. Yeah, he had a little bit of
It's been a few people though.
yeah.
But I think he I don't know if it's the best hire that they could have made. I think
Mhm.
it's a late hire, but I understand why they did it because he's won there
Yeah.
before. He knows how to win it. But they in the Big 12 now. You know what I'm saying? They ain't in that
Hmm.
in the American Conference no more. That where y'all was winning. So
Yeah. Um, Southern Miss hired away conference foe Charles Huff from Marshall.
I have no idea why he left Marshall.
I don't understand why you leave Marshall for Southern Miss. I don't know.
Both both of them are like perennial FCS powers, or were formerly what is now FCS, formerly Division II powers. Southern Miss got a rich football tradition. Brett Favre and all them kind of guys. And Marshall, they played in Division II national championships and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know if one is seen as that much of a better job than the other one. And so if you've already been at one and you got it rolling, you just won the conference title, well, why are you leaving?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
True,
get it.
true story. I got to watch Byron Leftwich when he was at Marshall play against what eventually became his backup and teammate. What's the guy who was the backup in Jacksonville for him? David Garrard when he was
Oh
at
yeah,
ECU.
yeah.
So got to see them play against each other, man. More coaching hire because Marshall had to replace Charles Huff. They hired Tony Gibson, North Carolina State DC, former North Carolina State DC.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's who a lot of LSU fans wanted him for DC after Matt House was gone.
Yeah, he pretty. I mean, he was a pretty good DC.
Yeah. App State hires Dowell Logans. He was the he was the DC at
He was the offensive coordinator at South Carolina.
offense. There you go. There you go. So that's it for the coaching hires, man. Well, that's not all of them. It's still some be made. There were some other hires that were made. LSU is going to be in the search for a new tight ends coach because Slade Nagel has left there to be the OC at Houston. Reuniting with Coach Fritz.
Yeah, UNC still open. There's been some rumors about some possible candidates. Belichick obviously was one that was reported to interview, which makes no sense to me, but that's a story for another day. But my question is, UNLV, do you promote Tony Marion?
They named I want to say the wide receivers coach as the interim head coach.
My man ain't never gonna get shot, dog.
But I talked to somebody today who knows that program, pretty well, and they echoed your sentiments. LSU should have
they should look at get him in a blank
ticket. Go offense, bro. I'm just saying that go offense.
The only thing is, never mind. I ain't even finna get nobody started on that. You ain't got the quarterback for it, but I
was just about to say, I knew what you meant. You didn't have to say it, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I was thinking it. That's it for that.
I wonder if they just named this guy the head coach because he got a lot of experience.
Talking about the wide receiver coach?
Yeah, the interim head coach. Like, this man been coaching since 1995.
Maybe it's just to keep more of that class intact. So they named him interim until they can get somebody else.
No, I'm saying, why you named him interim instead of Brennan Marion? Because this
Brennan may be leave. Maybe Brennan might be going ahead in Purdue too.
I mean, I think we would have already had that announced if he was, but
I don't think so. Not necessarily.
I don't want to, man. I hope he don't go to Purdue as an offensive coordinator. That man gonna Ryan Walters himself, dog. Ryan Walters was a damn good DC at Illinois. Got the Purdue job and got fired within 2 years. And now he got to start all the way over again, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
He got fired in 1 year. He just became was that 2 years? Because he was the head. He was there 2 years. I thought it was 1 year. Because he took over that year we played them in the bowl game. Golly, that went by quick.
But yeah, he got started, and then I don't see, like, Brendan Marion ain't gonna be able to get the athletes to run his offense well enough against the type of defenses and talent he finna be going up against. The deficiency, you know what I mean? Like, it's finna. I don't like it for him if that's the case. I'd rather see him somewhere, preferably in Baton Rouge, but I could only do that on NCAA.
Yeah, go. All right.
Oh, snap.
What's up?
Juan Soto just signed. Juan Soto just signed with the Mets, 15 years, $765 million.
Ooh, rich man.
The Mets. Ooh, Yankees fans finna be hot.
You know, I thought the Braves was gonna sign him.
Boy, Braves ain't got no money. Damn, that's cold blooded. That man went across town on y'all ass for the bag, bro. And what's crazy, bro, is there was a kid. I be going down rabbit holes on social media. So there was a kid who posted on Instagram that Juan Soto, somebody was like Juan Soto to the Red Sox or something, whatever team. He was like, nah, because the Mets offered him 15 years, $750 million. And the dude was like, ain't no way they would offer him that. And the kid was like, do you not know who I am? And the person was like, I don't care who you are, that ain't true. He was like, okay, just watch and see. And the kid was supposedly the son of the Mets manager. And it was basically out like he said though. I bet somebody finna find that story and retweet it like dude was right. I'll guarantee you I'm gonna see it by the end of the night. That's crazy, bro. I wish I would have bookmarked it. Ah, that's crazy. And if that kid ain't if that account really ain't that kid's the son of the GM or whatever, somebody has some damn good intel.
I'm seeing if I can find it.
That's crazy, dog.
He said people stalking kids on Instagram. Now that's funny.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, I see his story is like everywhere. That is hilarious.
It's crazy. Yeah, here go right here. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza's son apparently leaked the Mets offer to Juan Soto on TikTok. 15 years, 700 million. And it was 15,765. That dude knew something, bro. I don't care what nobody say. That dude knew something.
Yeah. Oh, that is hilarious, bro. Before we get ready to get up out of here. 15. Men's and women's basketball. I know you didn't get to watch the men's play. But you'll be you they cost me some money today, and I don't want to happen. Took on Florida Gulf Coast. LSU minus 15. They were up at one point in this game by 20 points, and if I'm not mistaken, they won by 9.
Damn.
Do you know how hurtful that is?
Yeah, I do.
Speaking of, I know this sounds crazy, but LSU women minus 50. Who would ever take that? I'm sorry, 50 and a half. Who would ever take that?
Why would you take?
Well, because they literally have covered minus 50 in the
Versus
especially the playing
against
North Carolina Central, and that was somebody else too. It was a couple. They've hit that, and then it was Grambling. And I was like, hey, they got Ant.
Good.
I know I get that they are, but Ant, they beat them by 46 and a half.
Charleston Southern was the other one. But that's 50 is a lot of points though, bro. You got to hold them under 50 and score 100. You ain't gonna hold Grambling up, dog.
What was the score?
What is it? 100 to 54?
It wasn't that far off.
You still ain't under 100 though. I mean, you ain't hold them under 50.
You ain't got to hold them under 50. You just got to continue to score. You got to get over 100. Way over.
But like they've scored over 100 twice.
They scored over 100 more than twice this year, ain't?
No,
am I wrong?
They hit 100 versus Grambling. They hit 100 something, 131 versus North Carolina Central, and they scored 117 versus Charleston Southern. Those are the only times they hit 100.
That's 3 times. Okay.
Charleston Southern and North Carolina Central are nowhere near Grambling level, dog. It's like Charleston Southern, I don't think they won a game. And neither has North Carolina Central.
All right, let's go ahead and get up out of here. I'm not finna get in trouble talking about Grambling tonight.
I'm just saying Grambling is better than them two teams. Grambling lost.
I'm not saying they're not. But what I am saying is that I think that they could have covered 50 and a half.
They barely got to 100, dog.
I get that. Was this their best night shooting?
No, they also had 20 turnovers. And it wasn't Grambling's best night shooting either. Grambling had one person make a 3-pointer. One person. She made 4 of them, but that's the only person on their team who made 3. It go both ways, dog.
I'm not saying it don't.
You compare Grambling to North Carolina and Central and Charleston Southern, saying that they done beat teams by 50 in this year, and I'm saying Grambling is better than them two teams that they beat by 50. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
So I don't think that they was gonna beat Grambling by 50. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I'm just saying I thought it was a strong chance that could have happened.
Man,
they weren't far.
It wasn't probable.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of bets that aren't probable.
That's why the fucking casinos win all the damn time.
I know. I get that. I get absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
So you basically saying that wasn't a smart bet to pick because the odds of it hitting wasn't that good.
That was the premise of the start when I said who would take that. I took that.
That's why I said because I know you took it. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know why you took it because that's an improbable bet in my opinion. I mean, I ain't gonna say improbable, unlikely, I should say.
Yeah.
Unlikely, I'll say it like that. But nah, Grambling pretty good though, man. Like they lost to
They were picked to win Sweat.
Yeah, they lost to Oregon State by like 6 the other night.
They were picked to beat the win the West. I'm not the West. I'm sorry. They were picked to win the SWAC. Number 2 was Jackson State. Number 3 was Alabama A&M on the women's side. So
they missed. They made the CBI or something like that, and made it to like the second or third round of it.
Okay. This I'm looking at. I honestly think it's going to end up being. I think Jackson State will be good. It's hard. You can't replace like Tamika Reed like that though.
Yeah, and I got to see Grambling play somebody who more on their skill level.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up being. I think it's going to end up being Grambling and A&M, Alabama A&M. Not Tamika. I'm sorry. Coach Thornton got them rolling too, bro. Like they beat Eastern Michigan. They beat San Diego University. They beat Lindenwood a couple days ago. They've been very competitive.
Man, you seen what South Carolina did at TCU today?
The girl Haley can't get away from it. Bust them up, didn't it?
It wasn't pretty, my boy. 85-52.
What Haley have?
I don't know. But Ashlyn Watkins, that girl from South Carolina, she stole the ball and then went down there and dunked on somebody.
Hey, is my video froze on your end?
Yeah, you froze.
And I got why it got me with the stupid face too, bro.
Haley had 21. She was the only person on her team in double figures.
All right, man. Let me refresh this. That's all right. I put the stupid face back up. We about to get off anyway.
I'm about to go lay it down. I'm tired.
Yeah, my boy. It's still early out here, so I'm finna try to grab me something to eat and call it. But we'll be back one day this week. Probably talk about we'll start talking about Baylor or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Just turn on your notifications. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Say what now?
We got like 3 weeks to talk about that.
I know, man. I'm trying. I might see if we can get on that.
Talk about that transfer portal. That's what we need to talk about. Because that should be heating up.
Yeah. We'll be. Oh shoot. All right, man. Let's get up out of here. Let me get that theme music going. Later on this week. And like that, we out.
You can find the Golden Boot Podcast on YouTube at Golden Boot. On Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On Facebook at the Golden Boot Pod. On TikTok at Golden Boot. Or listen on all streaming platforms.